to another episode of AndersMill Knits. Didn't think you'd see me again, did ya? Surprise! It's been a long time. I almost recorded like last month or something like that, and I had figured out at that time that it was something like 3 months or like 100 or 97 days, I think it was, since I'd last recorded, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then things kind of, and I didn't record, so now here we are, another month later. It is October, actually I don't know what date it is. What date is it?
The 18th or something.
Today's the 18th. I should know that because I start my new job tomorrow, October 19th, and I should have known that date. So there you go. Lots have happened. So why don't we just dive right in to, well, it's usually week in review or review notes, but you know, it's like Emily's life in review at this point. Things have been interesting. We had quarantine, right guys? We had, or hunker down, I think is what they called it here in Anchorage. My hair is an utter mess. Oh boy. Anyway, we had that. I'd started a new job here in Anchorage, and then I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia. That's been really horrible. At the same time, it's really nice to know that I have that diagnosis, because I've been struggling with pain for so long, and people just kept on saying that it was because I'm a cancer survivor, so I've got this radiation in me, and I'm like, yeah, I had cancer when I was 19. I'm 39 now, guys. That's 20 years. I mean, yeah, I think the radiation is still in me, but I don't think I should be in this much pain 20 years on. So finally I got a new doctor, and she went through my entire medical history with me. Is just so awesome. And she's like, okay, well, they ruled this out, they ruled that out, let's do this, let's check for rheumatoid arthritis again. Still don't have rheumatoid arthritis, people. They've checked me a million times, it seems like. I don't have it. So finally came down to, yeah, I have fibromyalgia, and yeah, not much is going to help you except for diet, exercise. Like, heat helps a lot, but I hate the heat. I really don't like the heat. And so, you know, it's been interesting. I bought myself a weighted heated blanket, electric blanket, or whatever that's called. And, you know, I've just been pretty darn open, especially with the, when I was having a really bad fibromyalgia episode, and I had insomnia, and work was really bad. So things got helter-skelter at work, to the point where I was working like 60 to 80 hours a week, and I had no downtime at all. I dreamed, I ate, I slept, all of this work stuff. It wouldn't stop. And it finally got to the point where Jeremy was just like, we had a conversation saying, you know, Emily, saying to myself, I guess, this is killing you. Like, seriously. Like, I was crying a lot because I just felt like I never got enough done. There was just, you know, as a counselor, you do have to try and close that door when you go home. Only the thing is I didn't get to close that door because I was working from home a lot as well. So in the end, Jeremy and I decided that even though I didn't have a job lined up, I needed to put in my notice. But boy howdy was I blessed, guys. Like, by the time my last day came around, I had a job lined up that's even better. I'm not going to be doing counseling for a while. However, I'm still going to be like dipping my toes in and stuff like that, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm working for Catholic Social Services here in our town, and they created this new, not for me, they just saw a need, and they created this position. It's called the Director of Training and Community Resourcing, I think it's called. I don't know, they changed the name on me a couple times, but really what it is that I, as a therapist, am going to be teaching all of my coworkers how to use therapeutic interventions, in particular motivational interviewing techniques. And I can go into what all motivational interviewing techniques are and stuff. Just go look it up on YouTube. You're already on YouTube. Pause it, pause me, Go look it up. It's fascinating. It's awesome. You can use it in your normal everyday life. It really helps you, and honestly, it also really helps you notice when people are being manipulative to you. And I think we all need that. We really need to understand when people are manipulating us. It happens more often than you think. I do it to myself. You manipulate yourself all the time. Just like that. I'm just saying. Anyway, so I'm going to be starting that tomorrow. Sorry, I just shook the camera. And my last day at my last job was the 2nd. Now, I had a little time off, so let me see. What did I do with that time off? That's what I did. I did my kitchen. I did our kitchen. Jeremy's my kitchen. Now, I had a budget. Didn't technically stick to the budget. I wanted to do this for less than $1,000. Everything was done by hand, and I had to reuse a lot of things. We don't have the money to upgrade. Like, for instance, the washer. Need to upgrade that. The fridge. Need to upgrade that. The oven is pretty okay. Just needed to spruce it up. We need a new sink. Can't afford it. So I ripped that sucker out with Jeremy's help. Scrubbed it within an inch of its life. Polished it back up. Did buy myself a new faucet and a new drain. We reinstalled it all. Oh my gosh, guys. I feel so empowered. Like, I cannot even tell you. So, what does it all look like? So, bear with me because I'm going to grab you really quick. It's not, because I also want to show you one of my finished projects. But this is my kitchen. Can't show it all in one shot. So what I did was I painted the upper cabinets, tore them all apart, tore everything out of them, cleaned them again within an inch of its life, put contact paper down because these are old cabinets. These are from the, was this place built in the 80s? Yeah, so these cabinets are from the 80s. So that means they're, because I was born in 81, I'm 39, they're at least 40 years old. Don't know that they've ever been cleaned before. So I cleaned them, put down some contact paper. And for right now, this is how it's gonna work. So I painted the upper ones, and it's got kind of a, it's a cream. It's got a yellow background to it because I wanted to warm it up based off of, I guess this isn't hunter green, which is what I was going for. Everybody's like, this is emerald green. So, okay, emerald green on the bottom. And that was, at first, that was just for Jeremy's sake, but I really like it. It looks so much like a country kitchen, which is what I wanted. I put on this backsplash here because technically speaking, we did not have enough of the backsplash I bought here. So I had to make it work. So I made it work. We did buy new toaster, new microwave. I'm gonna show you the other side, but beware because it's a mess right now because I've been literally cleaning everything in the kitchen. Everything came out of the kitchen, and before it comes back in the kitchen, it gets cleaned. And that meant then that I had to redo all of my Tupperware, and I don't know if I have all the lids for all my Tupperware, so all of it just went over there until I can go through them and figure out if they all have lids. If they don't have lids, they go in the garbage. Got rid of a bunch of stuff. We found out we had quite a lot of food that was out of date, some of it like 5 years out of date. That wasn't from me, I'm just saying. And so, oh, let's fix that. I don't want you to see my garbage can. There we go. So yeah. Everything has just been going good in the last 2 weeks. Now, it is exhausting. And I am still suffering, like I said at the beginning, from fibromyalgia. And so there's a lot of aches and pains going on. Like, I have got a horrible ache right here. Also been going to the chiropractor a lot. I think I'm going to try doing, what's that, needle therapy? Acupuncture soon. When I get my new insurance going, I think I'm going to switch over to doing some acupuncture because I think that would be really helpful for me. I've read a lot of people saying that that works. We shampooed the entire house. We had mice coming in from our neighbors that share this wall. And so I went, and that's what kicked off everything, is because we had mice and I was freaking out. And, or I guess they're shrews. I don't know the difference. I guess they're just in size and stuff. And so we ripped everything out of the office. I cleaned everything, shampooed the floors, and found some places where the mice were coming in from our neighbors. And so I stuffed some steel wool in there. Well, we had the shampooer, so might as well do the hallway. And then the hallway led to the living room. And then the living room led to the dining room. And then the next thing you know, I'm off work and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do the kitchen. So that's what I did. And I'm really glad that I did all of this work. Jeremy's super glad about it. We tore down the blinds, the vertical blinds, and the, I don't know what they're called. You know, the vertical slat things. There's one that was over the sliding glass window that's behind me. And we installed new curtains and everything. And then we've got this bank of windows, an entire wall of windows, and they're gorgeous. But we had these ridiculously ugly blinds that you pull down. And I just hated them. I've hated them ever since I moved in here. And Jeremy's all like, it's no big deal, but he's a typical guy. You know, he can deal with things. Not like us women. Like, things bother us. So finally, he helped me rip them all out, and we put in the curtains, and we love it. It just warms this place right up. It's surprising because we have a bigger view now. We didn't realize just how much of a view at the top the blinds were taking away. It's great. And today it's been snowing, so I've been sitting here at the kitchen table doing a lot of sewing and working on a project that I'll talk about in a minute. Also recording some of a tutorial for that project. And I can see the lake in between the houses across the street from us. And it's just wonderful. It's just been really wonderful. It's gotten a little warmer. We've been having snow all day and it's gotten a little warmer, so things are starting to melt. But I hope it stays. I love the snow. And it's so dark now. So dark. See, we Alaskans, we like the light. We are, I don't know if I can say this, but light whores. I mean, during the summer, it's light all the time. And so we're out fishing, hiking at 2 in the morning and it's still light out. Or okay, at 2 in the morning, maybe it's like dusk. And so we stay with our fire and we sit out by the fire and we go camping and all kinds of things. Ah, it's just lovely. So when the darkness comes, it's in those few weeks between when all the leaves are falling off the trees. So everything looks a little, sad and weary. And so then it gets super dark at night, but then a couple weeks in, we get our first snowfall, and things starting to brighten back up again. I just love it. I love it. Anyway, so I'm excited about that. So that's what's been happening. I've got family that was caught, not necessarily family and friends that were caught in the fires down in Oregon, and they're all safe. Everybody was fine. My parents are still traveling in their motorhome down there. They'll be back in a few days at the end of this week. I'm so excited. I haven't seen them in like 6-7 months, and so I'm super excited about that. We bought a van. Not a stalkerish, I'm gonna kidnap you van. We bought a Town and Country minivan. Honey, what year is our minivan? I include Jeremy and everything. He can't hear me though. I think it's a 2004. Maybe it's a 2009. But we bought it for the express purpose that over the winter, we're going to be converting it into a camper van. Because this summer we've been borrowing his dad's motorhome whenever we go camping, because we did go camping twice in tents and it worked out okay-ish, but I'm in so much pain that I just can't anymore, even with an air mattress. And so the motorhome was the next best thing. But we don't want to be taking his motorhome away from him, even though he doesn't use it very often. So we got the minivan, and we're going to convert it into a camper van this winter. And so I've been doing a lot of research on that. Been bothering a lot of my family and Jeremy with images about that. And so, just been doing a lot of daydreaming, but at the same time really kind of trying to make some things happen. Does that then necessarily translate into my knitting content? No, not always, because again, I've been in so much pain that a lot of times knitting has been aggravating that pain, which I was hoping it would help relieve it. So my knitting kind of went a little bit by the wayside. I picked up a lot more crocheting. but mainly I have been coloring, and I'm not going to show you all my coloring stuff here. It's just, you know, for my birthday, I got a really beautiful set, Prism, I think, set of color pencils, like 180 of them. So I got coloring books, and it's just lovely. So I've been coloring a lot, and actually that's really the thing that I've been doing to stress relief when I was working at my last place. So I found myself, instead of picking up my pair of socks to knit, I had my coloring all out on the coffee table, and I would just, you know, lean forward and start coloring when I felt stressed, you know. So that's what I would do. I think that's about it. I think that's my life in a nutshell. In the past, I'm sure I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff, but we're 16 minutes in and we should get to the knitting. So there we go. So let's talk about finished objects, shall we? I have a few. I mean, I think I showed you my finished object of my ripple bralette last time. Doesn't fit me at all. It's huge on me. Doesn't look like it would be huge on me, but it is. And it feels a little awkward. So this bad sucker, it was a fun knit, but I'm gonna have to rip it out. Either I'm gonna have to knit myself a smaller size, or I'm just gonna use the yarn for something else, because it just doesn't, I thought it was going to be more supportive. I don't know, but oh man, guys, my honkers are huge. So that's probably the main problem right there. Thinking that a knitted object like this is going to be able to hold up this shelf. I don't think so. So there you go. So did that. Then I crocheted up a lot of different washcloths using different patterns in both pink and this kind of like blue, not just different patterns, but different sizes as well. So we've got two that are honking huge out of organic cotton. Do they even match in size? I just didn't even care. I was just having fun. Nope, they in no way match in size. That is okay. That is okie dokie. I do not mind. And then I did two smaller ones as well. Again, everything has different patterns and everything like that. This one is a lot more holy. This one has a lot more structure to it. And now that I've shown you, we can now use them in the shower. Jeremy needs to understand that these are not to be used as rags or in the kitchen. These are only for the shower. So, you gotta teach guys these things, right? Like, you just gotta. I haven't bought much, except for in the past little, I mean, because mainly I've been buying things for, I've been doing a lot of rock painting. I've been doing, I've been collecting a lot of wood for driftwood painting and those kinds of things. So my crafts have been varied. So there you go. But I don't have all that to show. Now, as far as like things, oh wait, why would I show you the things in my toolbox now? No, I'm not gonna show you that. That's not where we're at. But otherwise, I have one sock done, and then that will lead us into the next segment, which is in session. So this sock is done. It's a Mina Phillips pattern, one of her Avenue socks patterns, and I love it. And these are for me, maybe my mommy, not sure. But, and then I'm on now in progress things, or in session, whatever you want. I have turned the heel, and I am now on the foot of this sock. This has mainly been my car knitting, and I went out to my car and found it for, you know, and I hand wound this yarn. But ow, that just hurt so bad. Anyway, this has been my car knitting, and one of the needles had ripped out, and so now I've got some fixing to do, which I will do after this segment. But I really like this pattern. It's intuitive. It's only like a 2 or 3 row repeat. I think it's a 3 row repeat, and you always can figure out where you're at. And sometimes with pattern socks, I have a really hard time finding out where I'm at each time, but it's got this great waffly, scrunchy effect that goes on with it, and I love it. So there's that. And it's in this Madeline Tosh hunter green kind of colorway. It's, oh no, that's not the tag for this. I know this is Madeline Tosh, I just don't know what colorway this is. But this is in a bag that a lady in Kenai sewed up just for fun. She was just having a fun time, and so she just wanted to see if she could sew up a bag. So, and then she posted it on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, yes, please! Ow, it's one of my favorite bags now. So there you go, that one. Then, I got this beautiful bag from Pearl and Plum Studio. It was a present to me. Thank you, Vivian. And I cast on a sweater. Let's see, this is the front. I don't think I have the pattern in here. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's not good. But this is also Malabrigo, and it's Light of Love colorway. 856 Light of Love in the sock base. Ow. And, oh boy, let's see if it's in my library, guys. But I have been knitting on, I had been knitting on that. I haven't in a while. Let's see. We're running out of juice. Oh my goodness, I cannot find it. I don't think it's in Goodreader. Let's just see really quick. Nope. That's not gonna be it. Nope. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to switch over to my phone to find out what the heck I've been knitting on, okay? So I'm gonna have to pause this for a second. Found it! It was easy to find. So I am knitting the Scotch Broom sweater. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty in the screen right now. Oh, I love it, I love it. And this is the front. It's an oversized short sweater. And I inherited from Jeremy's stepmom some of her sweaters that were on the shorter side, cropped, I guess you could say. And I discovered that I actually looked really good in them. I never thought I would look good in them, so I've never knit any of these very, very popular shorter sweaters because, hello, I'm plump. And yeah, I know I wear things that are way too big on me, and I knit things that turn out to be way too big on me, but still, I think I'm fatter than I actually am. And but this is oversized. This is also, I think this also includes the sleeves, this piece here. And this is the front, and you keep it on the needles. And I have like 3 rows done on the back. That's about it. And then I just put it aside for some odd reason, but I really enjoyed it when I was working on it. This is a kind of a knitted pattern that I have never done before, and it's very structured, but it's very lacy. I don't know, I think it's really beautiful. Let me get a little bit closer. I'm trying to decide which way is the front. I think that's the back, and this is the front. So I've been showing you the back the whole time. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? So obviously I'm gonna have to wear a tank top under this too, but I would anyway. But I discovered that with the tank top, I'm looking pretty damn good in these shorter cropped sweaters. So I found this one and I cast it on. Again, it's Scotch Broom by Dank Fibers, and I'm using the Malabrigo sock yarn in Light of Love, colorway 857. And I think I've got about 4 skeins total of this. Maybe I've only got 2, but I discovered also these shorter sweaters, you don't need as much yarn, obviously. It's awesome. So I can use some of my smaller fiber quantity or sock quantity, fingering weight quantity that I didn't think that I would be able to use for a sweater, that I thought I would have to find some way to incorporate in with other colors, like doing Fair Isle or something. Don't really have to with this one. So the next thing I've been working on is our advent that we had in July. Whoops, some of my stickers are coming off. I was partnered up and I got this beautiful bag first off, which I love. I mean, isn't that fun? And I got all kinds of colorways inside, obviously minis. And I guess I am literally in the middle of a row. I don't know why I stopped there. A whole bunch of stickers everywhere. But what I just decided to do was I would do the blanket from, oh my gosh, I am so terrible. It's because I don't have a printer anymore, and so everything is on my iPad or my iPhone. And so let me just see. Of course, you guys are loving me doing this. Okay, it's by the Habitation Throw by, whoops, let's go to the front page here, by Helen Stewart. And so here is the there, how about that? The Habitation Throw. And I actually love it. It's perfect for mini skeins, and because it doesn't matter where one ends and the next one begins. And so I am thinking what I'm going to do, I haven't decided, but I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. And I was thinking I'd go to the 12th day and then start back, but then I was worried that that would be too small of a throw. So it all depends on how many stitches I have on the needle. If I start back, I might have to incorporate some other of my own minis into this, but it's just so easy because it's garter stitch and then a row of eyelets. This reminds me of her Pebble Beach shawl. What the heck? Maybe it's because I've knit her Pebble Beach shawl like 4 or 5 times that I can remember the name so easily, but why couldn't I remember the name of this pattern? I mean, God, but it's so fun. And I don't know the names of all of these minis, but boy howdy did my partner do a good job of picking out colors for me from her stash. Now, we have our 24 Days of Cheer going again this year, but you're too late. If you're watching this and you didn't sign up, I'm sorry, you're too late. Also, we're only doing it in the United States because of COVID restrictions with mailing and stuff. So, I have my partner, a lady, a beautiful, wonderful lady that I've never met, but I should have met her because she was in the area that I would work in all the time on the coast in Oregon. And I feel kind of gypped that I didn't get to meet her. And I blame that on a friend of mine that knows her and didn't introduce us. You know who you are, and you know that you didn't do it, so whatever. Anyway, so I have 24 minis that I need to get together for that, and then of course my special skein and some goodies that go along with it. Now the goodies that I got in my summer July Merry Everything and Happy in July swap. I got some Tuft Woolens Honey Lavender. This is the Lanolin Rich Hand and Body Balm, and I've used this on my hands quite a few times. It was awesome. In fact, I didn't, the Rhinebeck, I guess, would have happened this last weekend, but didn't, or this weekend maybe even, or is this New York Sheep and Wool? I think it's supposed to be New York Sheep and Wool, but because it can't happen in person, they're doing it virtually, and Tuft Woolens did cider donut, not colorway, flavorings of things, and posted them for sale, and of course, I wanted to go over and see that, but I ended up getting something else that I thought would be pretty darn awesome for me and and my swap partner. Oh shoot, I shouldn't be saying that on here, huh? But, I got some chapstick. Sorry. This is the Luxury Lip Balm, and I believe this is the lemon colorway. Does it say anywhere? Lemon Tart. Oh, it's so freaking good, guys. Oh, I love that. So that lives in here. I've got, okay, so because I was trying to knit every single day of the 24 days in July. That did not happen. So I didn't feel like I deserved to open the rest of my minis. And so what I've done is kept them all in their wrapping. And as I go through, as I'm doing this, I open up that days and I knit that days. So like, I think this is 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm on the 9th day. So my next day, I've already opened up day 10, which is this one. And so I will be going straight into that one. And I don't want it to make sense as far as like, I don't want necessarily the colors to be gradual and all matchy and everything. No, I want it to be exactly as it comes out of my advent onto here. So here's the other thing I could do. I could knit all 24 days of my summer one for 1/2. And then I could do all 24 days of my 24 days of cheer in December for my second half. Oh my gosh, I'm genius. Yeah, I love that idea. Again, I don't know that it all depends on how many stitches I have on the needle, because nobody ever complains that the blanket is too big. They always complain that the blanket's too small. So there you go. I think that's probably what's going to be happening here, folks. But, and I'm, you know, depending on if I get another, I'm not saying that I need another one. I'm just saying if I get a different bag in my swap, I'll switch over to using that bag from this one for the rest of the blanket. But otherwise, because this is a plenty big bag, and I can just keep using this that I love so much. Speaking of blankets, I have been crocheting on my granny scrappy blanket. It still looks like a scarf, and I can't necessarily tell you how far I've come. I know I've knit at least crocheted at least 3 rows, but it is scrumdiddlyumptious craziness going on here as far as the colorways. And I discovered, okay, so there was one thing that was really bothering me with this crochet project, which was there were all these ends. You see them there? You see all these ends? Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Everything is just messy here. Okay, here's some ends here. Because what I was doing is when I was casting and joining in new yarn for the project, I would just do a square knot and join in the new yarn. But I totally forgot about splicing and just, you know, felting the 2 ends together so that you have a continuous one. So that's what I've been doing the last couple rows, and it's been working out great. Don't have any ends. So I'm just going to tuck in the ends that I do have from the beginning of this project in. I'll just grab my darning needle and tuck them in to them. But I've been doing that. So I've got this whole bag full of just random old stuff, but I am going to be dipping into this to create my 24 days of cheer a swap package. So, you know, if I don't have as much left over for this, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have plenty left over for this blanket. I mean, I don't need this big of a ball, which by the way, this is DK weight, but I don't care. Just put in a whole bunch of stuff. And this is leftovers from my Ripple bralette, which we just discussed is not gonna work. So I'll probably make those into socks, you know, because that's what I do. But anyway, so I gotta start putting that together soon. And this is also in a bag from 24 Days of Cheer. I think this was 2018. Yeah, this was the 2018 year. I got this in there. Can you tell it's just bursting at the seams? And most of it is just minis that or leftover scraps that I put in there. I've got so much scraps, it's awesome. I could knit probably 4 or 5 blankets out of all the scrap yarn I got. The last thing that I knit on at all over the past few months is my shawl by Joji Locatelli, and I've forgotten the name of this one, so this is the Suburban Wrap. You guys have seen this before, and I knit this striped section here. That's as far as I've gotten. I just knit the striped section. So yeah, need to get going on it again, but since I did knit on it, I'm showing you. So I'm using, let's see, Plucky Knitter, I believe is this guy here. 425 yards of Move Over Darling. Then I've got some natural wool from that's from a mill in Washington. I know what it is, but I don't see the tag in here anywhere. So I can't say the name of it all of a sudden, but I love this mill. I want to get some, oh, it's so lovely. And I think this is Rambouillet yarn. Then finally from Swift Yarns, I have this colorway, which is the Folklore colorway. I love that colorway. So I think I must be at the middle point. Maybe that's why I stopped or something, because my balls of yarn seem to be about at that, you know, halfway point. I should probably weigh them and find out, but this is what the shawl looks like so far. And it'd be good to get back into it, you know. It's shawl weather, it's sweater weather. I've got so many sweaters that are on the needles that I would like to work on. I'd like to finish up my rose cardie. I just have the sleeves to do on that. I've got quite a few that I'd like to just finish up. So, oops, let's get that in there. But in the meantime, I have other things that I've been doing. Oh, I didn't show you another finished object that I just finished this weekend. Finished it Friday night. I'm gonna have to pick you up again and take you over to see a finished object because I'm not taking it down. So, one of my finished objects is my fruit basket. I will put a link in the description to the YouTube video that I did. It's just a mini hammock, I think is what she called it. But she takes you through from start to finish making that hammock, and I loved it. I did it in maybe 3 hours. I don't think it was really 3 hours. I think I did it in less than 3 hours. And it's perfect. I have some thicker weight cotton yarn that I also want to make another one out of that would make it bigger. It could hold more fruit, although that's quite a lot of fruit right there. But I was also thinking, okay, I could have one for fruit and one for veggies. That would be awesome, right? So I'm thinking about doing that as well. So there you go. So I've been doing that. And then the final thing that I'm doing is I'm making a rag rug out of sheets. This is my ball of yarn and this is my head. Which one's bigger? Be quiet. But Saturday, I worked on making up my yarn, and today I have cast on my rag rug, using crochet and end hook, and I have a video series that I'm creating out of that. It's not going to be the best, I mean, because this is literally my first rag rug that I've ever made. So, you know, if you're looking for expertise, look elsewhere, okay? But I'm taking you on the journey with me. And this is as far as I've gotten. I did my chain row, and then I did the first half, and then I just videoed me turning my first corner. And so I'm going to be working on that. This was a practice one that I worked on earlier, just to practice and have fun with, you know. So I've got this entire basket full of scraps, so I can go on forever if I want, make it as big as I want. And I've got another, so that's 4 sheets, and I had 13 sheets to begin with, so I've got 9 more sheets, and they're all flat sheets. I got them all from like Goodwill and Salvation Army, like 75 or 50% off every single one of them. I didn't buy a single one that was regular price, and so I got it all for less than $30. Now, I did splurge on some other things that made the cost of this more, but I'm going to be using those other things for other projects. So like for instance, we got me a cutting mat, we got me a guide ruler, and we got me a rotary cutter. All of these things I'm going to be using for other projects, so I saw that as money well spent, sort of, you know. But otherwise, besides from that, the only thing that I got in the mail that is yarn related is recently I saw Hypnotic Yarns. This colorway is called Blue Up, but it is it's a foundation. I don't think she started, but she's donating to, that's against bullying. And I was a fat kid and I was bullied. I had a really hard time, especially in 6th and through 8th grade. Those were the hardest. And in fact, after, I think midway through 8th grade, my mom pulled me out of school and I was just homeschooled through the rest of 8th grade and high school because it was that bad. I turned out okay in the end, but you know. So when I saw that she had this colorway up there, then that the proceeds or half of the proceeds or something like that was going to the foundation for against bullying, I was like, I don't care. I mean, it's a beautiful colorway anyway, but I wouldn't even care if it was the ugliest colorway on the earth. I am buying it and donating it. I also bought her hat pattern that the proceeds go to the same thing, and which it's a beautiful hat pattern. I'm gonna be really enjoying knitting that. So I did that, and I love that she has on her website all the money that for each quarter in the last year that she's donated. She shows you, she tracks it all. It's just wonderful. So if you guys are looking to support a local dyer and also contribute to a good cause, there you go. There's that. Also, I want to do a shout out to, I've never met them. They don't know me. I've just been a fan of their podcast forever and a day. But the Fruity Knitting Podcast, whoops, they came out a couple days ago, October 16th, with an announcement that he has a brain tumor, and their entire income comes from Patreon supporters, and I'm a Patreon supporter of their podcast. And I really just want to, and they're now having a lot of medical expenses and things like that. And I don't know if you guys know about this YouTube podcast, or if you guys have, what am I trying to say? If you guys know if they already have a Fund Me page. So you can make a one-time contribution through their PayPal account, or you can become a Patreon or a patron through patreon.com/fruity knitting. And so that could be a monthly thing. And all of this goes to helping them with their medical expenses going forward. They don't know what the future is going to bring, but they are going to continue podcasting, mainly for the reason that this is their entire income. So I kind of want to put it out there that if you guys aren't aware of Fruity Knitting, go over and take a look. They put in so much time and energy. And they mentioned in this podcast that if you go back and watch their last episode, which is episode, I think, 108, where they go to Denmark. I hadn't watched that one yet. It's an hour and a half long, and boy howdy, I guess it's pretty darn awesome. So I just like to put in that plug. And lastly is that I won something. What? Hold on. Let me put in my password here for Instagram. If it'll let me. Ah! Okay. I'm almost there, I promise. But I just won from a local knitwear designer. She is pretty darn talented. I have a couple of her patterns in my library already, and she just came out with a headband pattern, and I don't know that this is going to let me. So let's go to Instagram on the internet here. But anyway, she just came out with a headband pattern, and she was just yesterday, she was like, hey, if you want a free copy, go ahead and enter to win. And I hardly ever win. So her name is, oh yay, she sent me the pattern already in Ravelry. Her name is AndersMill Knits. So let me go to her site so you guys can see her. Can you see her? Underscore? Yeah. U_knits. And this is the pattern that I just won, her headband pattern. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. But you guys might already know her because she designed, oh my gosh, she's designed so many beautiful things. It's just ridiculous. Let's go back. Oh, you can't see my face. So let's just go back. She did this Northern Lights, I want to say is what it's called, hat. Ooh, there's a hat that I hadn't noticed before, and that was super popular like a year ago, I want to say. My gosh, she's designed so much. Oh yeah, this one. I want to do this one. But this was when she's put out for testers. It's dandelions going flown away. It's sweaters, but anyway, that one's been out for a while now, but I want to knit that sweater so bad. But that wasn't the one that I wanted to show you. It's not on here. Okay. Obviously, I don't know. Maybe I've got her wrong, but I don't think I've got her wrong. But anyway, she's just amazing. Her design aesthetic is astounding. Very sophisticated, but also fun. So I wanted to show you. Here's a hat of hers that I have been admiring for a while. It's got this woven braided look. Isn't that fun? I like it. I'm super happy to release this fun textured woolly lousewort hat. So lousewort, if you see the hashtag there. There you go. She put that one out last year. Anyway. She's got so many beautiful ones. Anyway, so I wanted to plug her. Then the last new podcast that I wanted to plug, this one is an audio podcast. AndersMill Knits. You guys might have remembered her. She had a YouTube podcast back when she lived in Hawaii. I think she was living in Kauai, something like that. But then she moved. She is she's not in Kenai. Where the heck is she? I forget. Buskin Lake. Is that one also Buskin Lake? Yes. I need you to tell me. Kelson Bay. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I forgot the name. Kodiak. I didn't see it. She lives in Kodiak. But anyway, she started a podcast, an audio podcast this time. It's called Encourage Better. Knitting Adventures in Alaska. And I just love her feed anyway. So it's AndersMill Knits. And she's just so wonderful. And so I wanted to plug hers. I mean, look at her Instagram pages. I mean, how can you not want to follow that? And this is my home state, so I'm kind of, a little bit biased, but still. So apparently, there's just a couple people. You did not see that? I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
What happened?
Nothing! I might have knocked over my drink and got some on the floor that we just shampooed. But, you know, that's life, guys. I don't filter it for you. Maybe I should start filtering. Who knows? But anyway, okay, so I gotta go clean up a mess. So I'm gonna have to end things there, but I just wanted to remind you all to knit what you love and to love what you knit. Ta-ta for now.